What's going on, Washington fans? Sorry about that. I had a few things to do. Terry McLaurin has requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. How are we all feeling right now? I know I'm not feeling the best. Terry McLaurin, yes, Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. What up? Yeah, it is just a tactic. He's probably going to resign. Bad news. Yep, Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. What's going on, everybody? Just ahead of the Hall of Fame game, Terry McLaurin requested trade. How are we feeling, guys? Let me know in the comment section. I know I don't like this very much. I wish that I could just enjoy my night watching the Hall of Fame game, but Terry McLaurin has requested a trade from the Commanders. This is not good whatsoever. This situation has gotten way more ugly than I thought it would, but here we are sitting here on the day before August 1st, and Terry McLaurin has requested a trade from our team. Listen, command the field. I'm not worried at all, to be honest. I'm not worried. I think that this is expected, right? When you don't get a deal done for however long, like this is expected. So I'm not necessarily worried either. We saw TJ Watt do this a few years ago. We saw, Trey Hendrickson do this. We saw Myles Garrett do it a few months ago. And what happened to Myles Garrett? He got re-signed. So listen, I'm not worried. I know that some of you may be, but I'm not worried. Terry McLaurin has requested a trade from the Commanders. To be honest, I thought that this would come a little bit sooner. If I'm going to be honest with you, I thought it becomes come sooner. But here we are sitting here on the last day of July, still no deal done. Terry McLaurin, he doesn't want out of Washington, but when you don't get things done, it's expected. So this is not good news for this team. How are we feeling? I know that Command the Field is not worried at all, which is good, but there is going to be a lot of people worried at this point. Listen, I'm not worried. I will be. I want to calm you guys down here on stream today. I'm not worried. He's still going to sign a deal, but per Adam Schefter, he has requested a trade. This is shaking up the NFL world right before the Hall of Fame game. Man, Terry, just let me enjoy my night. Why do you have to request a trade? But I guess this is expected when you go long periods of time without getting anything done. This is expected. So, it is what it is at this point. So how are we feeling on this night before the Hall of Fame game? I know that this is not what I wanted to hear. Uptown Dre. No, Buddy Baker doesn't know what he's doing. This is the problem with the whole situation. Is Terry's agent. I'm on to something here. This is the problem. Terry's agent. Buddy Baker doesn't know what he's doing. It's not Terry's fault. So he doesn't know what he's doing. This is, if you guys didn't know, this is Buddy Baker's biggest agent, Terry McLaurin. Or not agent, sorry. Client is Terry McLaurin. His second biggest is, I believe, Jeremy Chin. So, I'm kind of blaming things here on Buddy Baker a little bit, but that's besides the point. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. On the road to 2,000 subscribers. I cannot do without you. Uptown Dre, he doesn't, and it shows. Facts. I just showed that. Facts. I just said that. He does not know what he's doing. That's the problem here. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I think I made that very clear, but this is certainly not the news we wanted to hear, man. Both sides are being stubborn. Adam Peters is being stubborn, okay? Adam Peters is being very stubborn, not wanting to pay Terry. But then at the same time, Terry's being stubborn, wanting considerably more than DK Metcalf. So I understand it from both sides, but it's not good. It's definitely not good. So I understand it from both sides, though. Terry McLaurin, but don't get this mixed up. Terry McLaurin does not want out of here. He doesn't. But when you get to a certain point, it's just going to happen. That's the nature of the business. But also, we got reports yesterday that the Commanders had offers for Terry McLaurin, and they didn't accept any of them. They declined them. So I'm not worried. His second is Wharton. Jeremy Chin is his third at $8 million. Wharton's making $15 million. Okay, I did hear something about that. For me, I'm feeling good. I'm a Washington Commander football team fan, not a one-man fan. If you're trading, make sure they get 3 or 4 draft picks if everybody else thinks he's elite. They're not going to get 3 or 4 draft picks out of Terry, but yeah. Oh, I'm perfectly fine with it. Everybody think Terry is elite, then washing it. Get at least 3 or 4 draft picks, go young, build it, calls them receivers, then we got it. Camp. He's not getting 3 or 4 draft picks, okay? If he's 24 years old, he may, but he's not getting 3 or 4 draft picks unless they're all 6th or 7th round picks. So I'll shut that down now. But yeah, he's not getting that. He's not getting a first round pick either. I wouldn't think a team would trade him for that. But let's not talk about trade offers right now because he's not getting traded. All right, I want to make that clear. He's not getting traded. Okay, so I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried yet. But at the same time, we keep pushing things back. We keep pushing things back. We keep saying, "Oh, he's going to he's going to sign before mandatory minicamp. He's going to sign before training camp. He's going to sign before joint practices." We keep pushing things back and nothing gets done. So that's the part that I'm a little bit slightly worried about, is that we keep pushing things back and they're still so far apart. This sounds like they're $5 to $10 million apart, which isn't good. So I'm going to sit here and try to be calm, but you definitely don't want to hear this. All right. So the Commanders are, I still don't, again, I don't expect them to trade Terry. I don't expect them to trade Terry, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. This isn't something that is new around the league, right? In fact, most people, if they don't get a deal done with in the first 3-4 months of the contract, then they're going to request a trade. Okay. So if he's asleep, why not? I mean, this is what everybody's making him think, that he's elite, and he didn't become elite till Jaden Daniels got there. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. I mean, the fact is that he's going to be 31 when this extension kicks in. And the other fact is he's not a 1,400-yard receiver. And the other fact is he's the worst wide receiver in this division. So watching them get 3 draft picks for him, you too young to drink, where I bet you a 5th. We'll see. Because eventually, when this hangs on, when they keep going, we'll see what teams offer for him. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see, Big E. We'll see. We'll see if you're right. Because eventually, this is going to start going public. And I guess Terry Mclaurin, I was shocked when he did the Eastern Motors thing, but I'm even more shocked now. The fact of the matter is Terry McLaurin doesn't want to leave, and the Commanders don't want him to leave because every shot of a Super Bowl is gone. Every shot of a Super Bowl is gone if Terry McLaurin leaves, or gets traded. But this is what happens when you can't strike a deal, when you're not urgent enough with things. This is what happens. Okay. So Myles Garrett requests a trade. He becomes the most highest paid edge rusher. Okay. Non-quarterback. So these things get done when players request a trade. It's not the end of anything. He's still going to be here. Jalen Lane and Christian McCaffrey are getting more work now, along with Debo. Just take that 28 million, Slim. Yes, I agree with you. Just take the 28 million. Just take the 28 million. You're not getting anything over 30 million. You're not. The ceiling is 30 million. So I'm just here to tell you that the ceiling is $30 million. But let me turn on this Hall of Fame game real quick. See if I can get this. So football night in America. Good to see that back. All right. So back to Terry. I'm not worried, but this is not the news you want to hear. What do I expect to happen? I talked with Rio yesterday. I've talked with Rio. Rio thinks $29 million gets it done. I'm right there with him. Okay. I think something along that line gets it done. Because I think both sides, Adam Peters has to come up, Terry has to come down. That's just what has to happen. Adam Peters sounds like he's offering him $26 million right now. And Terry sounds like he wants $34 to $35 million, which is unreasonable. Both sides aren't being realistic. Because if I'm going to be honest, I feel like Terry's a $30 million receiver, but he's not above that. And if you say, Why is he getting 30 million like Brandon Ayuk? Because it's not our fault that the 49ers overpaid Brandon Ayuk. It's not our fault that they did that. So we shouldn't be worried about a guy that's way worse than Terry getting the same money. All right. Command the field. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Terry is really appreciate you for the 10 piece. Really appreciate you. Terry is a Washington Commander and will retire as a Washington Commander. Preach. Preach. He sends that in the super chat too. Really appreciate you, first off. And second off, that's the best comment all night. That is, it's perfect. I mean, he's always going to be a Commander. He will be a Commander. They're going to get this deal done. Like, I'm not worried whatsoever. So, there we go. Just to clear that up, he's not going anywhere. Now, if this is down the road 1 month, 2 months later, and they still don't have anything done, then something might transpire on the trade side of things. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate your generosity. Big E. Once you got that quarterback, man, under the center, you could probably plug and play different receivers. Trust me, seen it way too often. I'm sure you have too. Sure you have. You probably have. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point there. And it's going to become time next year where they draft a receiver. Yes, I know we have Lane, but Debo next year, Debo's going to leave. He's not staying next year. It's not likely. And Terry's going to be what, 30, 31 next year. So they're going to have to draft a receiver next year. We'll see who it is. We'll see if it's high. Henry writes, without Terry, there is no Super Bowl. Facts. You pay Debo and Von Miller without considering paying your best player. The request is to show that Washington can't win without him. One thing here. That's a good comment, but one thing here. They have $21 million in cap space. So they could pay Terry. They can pay him as much as they want, pretty much. You know, anything over $35 million, that's not. But they can pay him as much as they want. All right. Hey, born raising Kansas City Chiefs fans thought the world was falling when Tyreek got shipped out of here. That's true. And that's the one point that people can say that is really true. How did that work out for Kansas City? Worked really well. Worked really well. Good point. Really good point there. So, but we have a guy better than Patrick Mahomes, but he's going to be better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if he is now, but yeah, it did work out. But I just think right now, with the level of talent on this offense, with, this team doesn't really look like a team that's going to do well without Terry McLaurin at this current moment. So, it's a point you can make, but I don't know if that's I don't know. But it definitely did work out for Kansas City. But we're not going to trade Terry McLaurin. That's the thing. We're not going to trade Terry McLaurin. I'm here to tell you that. But there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk, as there should be. He requested trade. To people, that are saying he wants out. He doesn't want out, but he's just not at a great place right now with the team. At the Eastern Motors shoot, he wasn't at a great place either. So let me bring you up the wide receivers' annual salary, okay? Let me just bring you up that, all right? Here's what wide receivers are making right now. And let me pull this up on the screen for y'all. All right, let me pull this up on the screen. Okay, so let's get this straight. Jamar Chase, $40 million. He's not making that. He's not getting close to that because he isn't Jamar Chase level. I hate to break it to some of you. Justin Jefferson, he's not getting close to $35 million because he's not on that level, and Adam Peters is not paying him close to $35 million. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, $34 million. This is what Terry McLaurin wants right now. If you don't know, this is what Terry McLaurin wants right now. It's seemingly he wants $34 million from the report from Adam Schefter yesterday, saying he wants considerably more than DK Metcalf. This would seem like what he wants right now. DK Metcalf, a lot. This is such an overpay for DK Metcalf. He's only making $1 million less than CeeDee Lamb. But let me tell you the thing about DK Metcalf's contract is it's basically 2 years, $60 million for DK Metcalf. This contract sucks if you look at it in depth for DK Metcalf. It sucks for DK, but they definitely did overpay. AJ Brown, this is where I'm starting. This is where I'm starting. I think Terry could make 32 million because it's not like AJ Brown just got this contract. He got his contract extension in 2024. So that was AJ Brown a few years ago. And Terry is better, he seems better than AJ Brown, right? To me. He had better stats last year. So that they speak for themselves. He had more touchdowns. He's a bigger contributor to the team. So I know Adam Peters is not going to go close to 32 million, but I would if I'm Adam. And then I feel like this is the ceiling for Terry McLaurin is what Amon-Ra makes right now. That's the ceiling for Terry McLaurin, just because of it seems like Adam Peters is being pretty cheap here. This seems like the ceiling for him, 30 million. Tyreek Hill, 30 million. But Tyreek Hill, when he made this, he was coming off a 1,700-yard season. And when Tyreek Hill made this, he was 27 years old. What fans don't want to accept right now is that no wide receiver has gotten 30 million plus that is in their 30s. No wide receiver's done it. Every wide receiver on this list right now, every wide receiver that you see, when they got their contract, they were 25 to 27 years old. Well, you say, well, Garrett Wilson, he's making 32 a year. He's 24 years old. Age matters. You know what Adam Peters is not going to do? Adam Peters is not going to sit here and be the first guy to pay a wide receiver at 30 years old plus a $30 million contract and over. He's not going to sit here and do that. Okay? He's not going to sit there and do that. So, command the field. We need that contested catchability. He is number one in the league. Definitely the number one contested catcher in the league. I will agree with that. DK Metcalf got so overpaid. Agree. Man, preach. He got overpaid, but at the same time, if you look in depth at that contract, it's not a good contract at all. It's not a good contract for DK. Like, it's basically 2 years, 60 million. Why can't we just sit here and agree on a 28 or $29 million contract a year for Terry McLaurin? Because if you look at that, and I think when I had Rio on the show, he made a really good point. If you give Terry a 3-year, $89 million contract, that is a $20 million raise for Terry McLaurin over the past few years. So just take it, to be honest. All right. So, and the fact is that he's only a 29 million a year receiver. That's what he is at this point. That's the age, everything considered. That's what he is. Could he make 30? Sure. Does he deserve 30? Yeah, I think he probably does deserve 30. But Adam Peters is not paying him $30 million. He's just not going to do it. And you can say what you want, but it's just not happening. And the other thing is, yes, we have a real GM. Yes, we have a good GM. But this is taking too long. It's taking too long. Okay? It's taking too long from Adam Peters to get this done. But we do have a real GM, and we do have a real GM that we can trust in. But it is taking too long from Adam Peters to get this done. Why didn't you have more urgency early on in the offseason? Didn't you know this was going to be a problem if you didn't get anything done? Didn't you know it was going to be a problem? I mean, you have to look ahead. So that's the one problem with that I have with this is they didn't look ahead and try to get something done early. They didn't do it. And that's the problem. They didn't have enough urgency early on. Okay. But that's just that's their problem right now. That's their fault. That's their problem. So this is ugly, but I guess that's the nature of the NFL right now. It's the nature of what happens in this league right now. So the Washington Commanders get terrible news. Terry McLaurin requests a trade from DC. What do you guys think? I've gotten all of it tonight, right? Because trade Terry, we don't want to trade Terry. We're gonna be fine. I'm on the side of we're gonna be fine. I'm on the side of this thing will get done. But I mean, when you look at it, they've pushed it farther and farther and farther and farther and farther and farther down the road. And how long are you going to kick the can down the road? How long are you going to wait to pay Terry McLaurin? How long? It sucks, man. It really sucks. But there is multiple examples. And shout out to JP Finley. Shout out to JP Finley. Here. Let me pull this up for you. Okay. If you're a fan that's worried about Terry McLaurin going somewhere, I'll just show you this. It's from JP Finley. Lamar Jackson, in March 2023, Lamar Jackson requested trade from the Baltimore Ravens. And then he signed a $260 million contract for 5 years. All right. Lamar Jackson requested a trade. Jonathan Taylor requested a trade from the Colts. Myles Garrett requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Ayuk requested a trade from the 49ers. You know what happened with all these guys? They got re-signed. So, I mean, it's going to get done. It's going to get done. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to be kumbaya and happy about it. But right now, this is business in the NFL. Okay? It's business. Fact of the matter is we're in a tough situation. The fact of the matter is that he's a receiver that is going to be 31 years old when this contract kicks in. And Adam Peters does not want to pay him much because of that. If Terry McLaurin is 26 years old right now, deal would have been done. Deal would have been done because both sides want each other. They need each other. We need Terry McLaurin to go to a Super Bowl. Terry McLaurin needs the team because at the end of the day, where is Terry McLaurin going to find a better situation than what he's in right now? Where is Terry McLaurin going to find a team that wants to pay him more than Adam Peters and it's going to be a better situation? You say the Patriots. Is that a better situation than we're in right now? Are they on the brink of a Super Bowl? No. You say the Raiders. Are they on the brink of a Super Bowl? Is this a better situation? No. There's multiple factors. Jaden Daniels. You have him here. You know, you're about to contest for a Super Bowl. So Terry McLaurin's not going to find a better situation, and he's going to realize that, and he's going to get his contract extension. But I'm going to blame a lot of this on his agent, Buddy Baker. I really am. His clients suck. Let me go to the comment here from. Okay, yeah. Look, his next best client is Wharton, who gets $15 million. And then his third is Jeremy Chin is his third at $8 million, who actually just left the Commanders because he didn't get the money he deserved. Jeremy Chin thought he was going to get the bag, but his agent, Buddy Baker, didn't get it done. So how can we trust Buddy Baker to get it done with Terry? I'm not a fan of his agent, okay? Not a fan of his agent, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not a fan of Buddy Baker right now, though. And I feel like this is kind of mostly his fault. Buddy Baker, his agent, is trying to close his biggest deal because he's gonna introduce himself to everybody at the draft, and he's going to introduce himself as Terry McLaurin's agent. He has no clients. So I believe that when this contract gets done, it's going to be one last dinner with Terry and Buddy Baker, and he's out. And Terry McLaurin finds a new agent. This is the biggest deal. This is the biggest deal that Terry McLaurin's ever going to get. And he can't close it. Buddy Baker can't close it. So Al Galdi wrote, the leverage in the Terry McLaurin situation is overwhelmingly with the Commanders. He's under contract for 2025, and the team can franchise tag him for 2026 and even 2027. Can play this year to year. If an extension is going to happen, it's going to happen on Adam Peters' terms. Interesting from Al Galdi. I mean, Buddy Baker thought he was going to get the bag for Terry McLaurin, and he's not going to do that. Trade him, stockpile more picks. I mean, yes, you're going to stockpile picks and you're going to have a bright future, but we want to win now. Okay? Adam Peters has made it abundantly clear that he wants to win now. If you trade Terry McLaurin, you cannot do that, man. You can't. Why did we trade for Laramie Tunsil? Why did we bring Deebo Samuel in here for 1 year? To win a Super Bowl, to go all in. We can't do that if we're trading Terry. Okay? Everyone's replaceable. Yeah, he will be replaceable in a few years, but I just think that you can't trade him now. I mean, here's a question. Here's a genuine question, Coach O. Do you want to win a Super Bowl or do you want to stockpile future draft picks? Which one? Because you throw away any shot you have of winning a Super Bowl without Terry McLaurin. He's not replaceable now. Who do you have that's going to be better than Terry McLaurin now? Who do you have that's going to be a deep threat like Terry McLaurin is now? Because Jalen Lane's a slot wide receiver. He is a deep threat, but he's a slot wide receiver. Who can replace Terry McLaurin right now? Trent Green was irreplaceable till Current Warner showed up. That's luck of the draw, man. I just think this year he's not replaceable. But yeah, exactly. That's my opinion. You have your own opinion, and I respect it. That's my opinion, though. Right now, the team has the leverage at the end of the day, and we finally. It just sucks because Terry McLaurin wants to be. Terry McLaurin wants to be here. He wants to be with his teammates, and he. Just read those comments. Okay. Terry McLaurin wants to be here. He wants to be with his teammates. And here's the thing, though. They didn't add Deebo to be a number one wide receiver. They didn't do that. They didn't add Deebo to be a wide receiver one, man. I mean, do you want to suck this year? Yeah, business, facts. Business is business. So, wend it on that. Business is business. I mean, Terry McLaurin wants to be with his teammates. He doesn't want to leave. All right. He doesn't want to leave. Yeah. Facts. He needs to take less money. The report from Adam Schefter the other day saying that Terry McLaurin, wants considerably more than DK Metcalf. Just take less money if you want to be here. But if you want to be traded, then, okay, respectable. Wide receiver one labels don't mean a thing to me. Respectable. But anyways, this Terry McLaurin thing is going way too long. This isn't a surprise that he requested a trade. All right, this isn't a surprise at all. This is usual business. This is normal business. Jaden has 4 touchdowns. Week 1 thoughts will change fast. Facts. I'm going to week 1, so I hope I see that. So if they're not creative enough to find ways to get the ball to playmakers, then it don't matter who's on the field. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like if they get 4 touchdowns week 1, 4 passing touchdowns, it doesn't matter. But yeah. So you're right. But I just think that it's interesting that Terry McLaurin requested a trade. It's just jaw dropping. I just thought this would be done already. I've given you guys, the list of wide receivers, and it just doesn't fit Terry McLaurin because the list of wide receivers that are above 30 million, they were all below Terry's age when they got their contract. So just doesn't fit Terry McLaurin right now, and that's fine. Also, they must find a way to run the ball or they're going to get their MVP QB killed facts because I'm not doing I'm not doing Jaden Daniels being the leading rusher this year. I'm not doing that. But I think they have that seventh round pick, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He looks really good right now. So we'll see what they got in him. He looks really good right now. But back on topic, Terry McLaurin. What are we feeling with Terry McLaurin? Trade him, get him out of here, or do you want to keep him? We all probably want to keep him, but we all, we all feel different on the situation for sure. I think we all definitely feel. There's no 30 million wide receiver that's worth 30 million. That's a respectable take, I guess. I mean, I think that Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are, but those are probably the only two, right? Um, it really seems like it's taking too long for me. Just wow. This is affecting practice. This is affecting everything. This is affecting the practice. We see there's a reason that the wide receivers don't look good right now. Neither one last season. All right, give me two guys. Take anybody else. Okay. All right, give me the two guys then. So you gonna give me two guys or not? All right, I guess you're not then. I mean, I'm gonna sit here and just be the guy to say Lamar Jackson and Chase and Jefferson. Chase and Jefferson. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I just thought about that. That's a good point. You named them already, Chase and Jefferson. Yeah, they didn't win anything last year. They didn't. But back on topic here. Back on topic. Lamar Jackson and Myles Garrett, they did request a trade and they signed back. So that's what's giving me hope right now. But he's frustrated. Terry McLaurin is frustrated. The thing about this is Terry McLaurin has one card left, and I talked about this yesterday. Okay, listen. If you don't care, then leave. If you don't care, then leave. I don't care. I talked about this yesterday. Terry McLaurin had one card to throw in. Like, before this was going to get done, Terry McLaurin had one card to throw in because Terry McLaurin has no leverage. We all know this. Terry McLaurin has no leverage. The team has all the leverage. I talked about this yesterday. This is the one card Terry McLaurin had to throw in, a trade request. That's the one card left he had to put a little bit of leverage on his side. It's all he had left. And so he did it. And I said, who's going to be the next? Yeah, I understand. I understand that. You are interactive. I understand that, man. I definitely understand that. But I said this was the one card that Terry McLaurin could throw, and it would make the heads go a little bit. Is Terry actually asking to be traded? Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. He's asking to be traded. But the thing is, he doesn't want out. He doesn't want out of DC. He's just asking to be traded because that's the final card that he has to throw. He has no leverage, but he has to throw his final card. Yeah, bro, I got you. I know. Yeah, I know you're not intended to be. People have opinions. People have opinions, so I respect that. All right. No, nah. Nope. Scroll up. Yinzer fanatic. Yinzer fanatic. Scroll up. Read the comments. Read. I think okay. The one super chat that I got, it explains everything. Okay, let me look that up. I'll put it back on screen. Look, this explains everything. Okay, Terry is a Washington Commander, and he will retire as a Washington Commander. That explains my thoughts right now. I don't care that he got that. Yeah, the agent has put that on the negotiation line. I think the current situation we have to discuss what the team could get in return for Terry if a trade does happen. Yeah, that's a good. These are the questions you have to ask as a fan. These are the These are the tough questions that you have to ask yourself. Um, Dude, if I'm being reasonable, I don't know if they get a first round pick out of Terry. I don't know because of his age. You could get a second round, maybe 2 second round picks, maybe something like that. What the heck are you showing me? Hold up. This describes it perfectly. Terry is a Washington Commander and will retire as a Washington Commander. Like, he's not going anywhere. All right, that's just where we're at right now. This is where we're at. That's what I showed you. That's what I showed you. No, we get it. We get a second, man. We get a second. We don't get a third for him. All right. We don't get a third. Terry McLaurin is worth a second round pick. And by the way, the Patriots would definitely trade a second round pick. They are needy. They might trade a first round pick for Terry McLaurin. Nobody's trading a 30-year-old wide receiver that wants $30 million a year. All right, let me give you something. Yeah, Debo's nowhere near Terry, but let me tell you something real quick. Chris Godwin, he got offered by the Patriots. The Patriots offered Chris Godwin over $30 million. And Chris Godwin is coming off an ACL injury, and he's a wide receiver too. So I think they would offer Terry over $30 million, buddy. But, you know, that definitely adds a lot more pressure on Washington to get the ball rolling. I still think Mclaurin wants to be a Commander. He likely just wants to see more progress being done. Facts. That's the best comment all day. Explains it. Whoever trades for Terry will have to pay him DK Metcalf money. He's going to try to force him to, but also wouldn't be surprised if this is a move by Buddy Baker. It is. It's a move by Buddy Baker. Yes, Terry McLaurin's frustrated, but it is a move by Buddy Baker for sure. Terry's not that good. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the worst wide receiver in the division. One-time All-Pro. The amount of star players who have requested a trade but never ended up getting traded is a very long list. I'm not too worried as of now. This is a guy who knows ball. Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Myles Garrett, they all requested a trade and they didn't get traded. He's an average wide receiver. He's better than average. Let's be real here. Facts, the deal will get done. Some things just take longer. It is taking longer. Are you streaming the Hall of Fame game? No, I had to come on here to stream. I was going to stream the Hall of Fame game, but why would I do that to myself? So I'm not even going to watch the full game. It's going to be terrible. Hendon Hooker versus what's his name? Trey Lance. Trey Lance is not starting for the Chargers, but he will be playing for the Chargers. So why would I do that to myself? But I'm streaming because Terry McLaurin requested a trade this afternoon. Who has thrown the ball to Terry until last year? Facts. CD is superior. Neighbors may be more electric. He's the worst wide receiver in the division. All right, I'm not going to hold you. Easton Stick. Oh, yeah, okay, he probably is starting. Look at their uniforms right now, though. I do like those things. Easton Stick probably is starting, but I just figured out yesterday the Chargers have Trey Lance, and he'll be playing in this game. I'm gonna be interested to see that, I guess, but that's about it. That's all I'm checking in for. There's a football flying, there's uniforms on the field, so I'll take it, but it's not gonna be the best game ever. Both Fillers receivers are not as good as Terry. That's crazy. Philly receivers. Yeah. See. Oh, and no. Command the field. You got me wrong. Command the field. I don't mean backups. I mean starters. I think that Terry McLaurin is really close with Neighbors and AJ Brown. I think CeeDee Lamb separated himself. AJ Brown, it is as good. No, it's not the whole division. It's just the starting wide receivers in this division feel like they're better than Terry. Okay. AJ Brown is vastly overrated. Yeah, I think Terry stats wise is better, so it's close. Terry's on the bottom of that list. Respectable. Because Neighbors is going to be a dog. Don't try to ignore that. Neighbors is going to be a dog. So, but back on topic. I mean, AJ Brown is stoppable. AJ Brown's stoppable. Come on. It's we actually got hold on, I gotta show you that. Cam Curl on X. Obviously, we all know he formerly played for the Commanders. He said pull up 17, and then Jeremy Chin retweeted it and said, "Hey, watch out, gang." Terry McLaurin's not going anywhere, man. This is negotiations 101. This is not Terry. Terry does not want out, but Terry wants to throw in his last final card that he has. If we don't have Terry, who is our go-to guy in the receiving department? Facts. That's what I've said. Who is it? I mean, you don't have another wide receiver one in there. Like, for example, if we were the Bengals and we had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay, if Jamar Chase goes down, we're fine. We still have a guy that can play as a wide receiver one. But like the Commanders, they don't have anyone. Deebo Samuel is not that in his career right now. He's not at that anymore. Who's better than Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas? Brian Thomas is low-key under. Everybody talks about Malik Neighbors. Nobody talks about Brian Thomas. I don't understand it. I think Brian Thomas is really good too. I think he's almost better than Malik Neighbors. So they both had great years last year. Definitely not going to ignore that. I just can't believe I can't believe the contract talks have come to this point. I can't believe we've gotten to the point where Terry McLaurin's requesting a trade. I just can't believe it. It's hard to accept, but is by the way, I wanted to ask you, has TJ Watt ever requested a trade? Because I feel like he has and he signed back. Either way, multiple people have done that and they sign back. So again, I'm not worried, man. Not worried. Thomas will be top 5. Reports also say that we have no interest for trading him. That's what I said at the top of today's show. That's what I said. I said yesterday night, Tony Pauline said we don't have there's been request people offering some stuff for Terry, and Adam Peters has declined all offers for a trade for Terry. There we go. Clears everything up. No, he is not, but he just doesn't show up. Yeah, he just and that's been multiple years. So it's the business of the NFL. So I'm not gonna sit here and act all worried. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we're gonna trade Terry. We're not gonna trade Terry. If we do end up trading Terry, I'll eat my words, but I don't think we are. I just don't think we are. And it seems like I was at like a 5. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you, Coach O. Good conversation with you. Thank you for that. You crazy. Both are not better. You are an Eagles fan. Of course you would think that. Which of those receivers has more touchdowns? I'll wait. I think he's talking to this guy up here. But appreciate you commanding the field for holding the chat down. Because I definitely didn't say both of the Philly receivers are better. I honestly think Terry... I think Terry's close to being better than A.J. Brown. I think he might actually be better than A.J. Brown, but we'll see. We don't know yet. We'll see what they do this year. Seems like, last time we talked, I said I was at like maybe a 5 out of 10 on worry. Now that it's gotten to this point, I guess I'm at like a 7 out of 10 on the worry scale. So 10 being the absolute worst, 7 being I'm worried now, but I'm not going to get myself on a knot about this. Okay. So, but it's definitely gotten bad that he's requested a trade. It's that bad, folks. There's people saying this is on Adam Peters too. I mean, man, it's I don't know what side to go with, man. I don't know what side to get mad at. I don't know if I should be mad at Terry's agent. I really don't know if I should be mad at him either. I don't know who this is on. I don't know if the report from Adam Schefter is true that Terry wants considerably more than DK Metcalf? I don't know. But I do know that this is getting out of hand. This should be over. Yeah. Yeah, command the field. That's what I thought. I was talking to Coach. Really appreciate you for holding the chat down. Really appreciate you for all the money you have sent. Really appreciate you for being a channel member. That's the GOAT right there. And he understands football. Hall of Fame game is about to start, though. We'll only be on here a little bit longer, man. And we'll see if I get any more super chats or anything like that. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. What I'm interested to see is, does any like leaks come out that Terry McLaurin's asking for an exact amount? Like, what if somebody says Terry McLaurin's asking for $34 million? Since Terry has fired back, so what came out a few days ago was Adam Schefter saying Terry McLaurin wants considerably more than DK Metcalf. That means that, pretty much Adam Peters told, Adam Schefter that he could leak that to get back at Terry. Now, Terry has gotten back at Adam Peters by throwing out a trade request, making it look bad on Adam Peters. Now, what is next? What is next from Adam Peters? What is Adam Peters' next bullet? What next does Adam Peters have to throw? Okay. What does he throw next? What flag does he throw next? Okay. What bullet does he let us know next about what Terry's asking for? That's what I can't wait for. That's what I can't wait for to see. That's what's going to be fun to hear about for me. What is next from Adam Peters? What does Adam Peters say next to fire back at Terry McLaurin for all this? Because at the end of the day, this is a business, and there's a lot of factors in this. All right. So let me see. Adam Schefter says there have been teams that have contemplated making a move for disgruntled wide receiver Terry McLaurin, but the Commanders have had no interest in moving on from him. Let me put this on the screen for you. Have a good night, young buck. I got a bolt, got some business to handle. Really appreciate you command the field. You're always so generous. Really appreciate you for showing up to the stream, man. Really appreciate you. Go handle that business, man. So I'll probably see you on the next stream or whatever. Hope you have a great night. All right, let's get to this Adam Schefter tweet that he said, because and he also wrote an article. I might pull that article up real quick. For you guys, because this is going to get interesting. I like to hear what Adam Schefter has to say. Okay, so there have been teams that have contemplated making a move for disgruntled wide receiver Terry McLaurin, but the Commanders have had no interest from moving on from him. There's no interest in moving on from him. Adam Schefter is comforting us fans. No interest in moving on from Terry McLaurin, okay? And then here's the other thing. Over the past 2 years, at least 3 wide receivers requested trades. T. Higgins, he signed back with the Bengals. Deebo Samuel, he signed back with the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, he signed back with the 49ers. None were traded in the year in which they had the request. McLaurin is now the latest wide receiver to seek a trade when failing to land the contract he wanted. Adam Schefter understands it, and this is not a big deal. He's literally breaking down these wide receivers that have all signed back. One of them is on our team now. It's really not that big of a deal, guys. Really isn't that big of a deal. Let's see what Adam Schefter's article is about. Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. McLaurin, who is seeking a contract extension with 1 year left on his current deal, reported to training camp Sunday to end his holdout, but was placed on the physically unable to perform list because of an ankle injury. He said earlier this month that he would not step on the field without progression toward a new contract. Let me see if there's any new comments. No. Okay. McLaurin has not publicly stated what sort of contract he's looking for, but he said last week, with how the market is today, it conveys what guys my caliber are deserving of. Several noticeable wide receivers signed long-term deals this offseason, including the Bengals' T. Higgins, Steelers' DK Metcalf, Jets' Garrett Wilson. McLaurin turns 30 in September. He has pointed out that he has been in the NFL for only 7 seasons, did not play much in his first 2 seasons at Ohio State, and didn't want to be judged by what others did in the past. 2 high-end receivers near McLaurin's are age-signed extensions last year. At 30, Miami's Tyreek Hill signed a 3-year extension for $30 million per year with $52.535 million guaranteed. At 31, Tampa Bay's Mike Evans signed for 2 years and $41 million with $35 million guaranteed. McLaurin has been Washington's top receiver since entering the NFL as a third-round pick in 2019. He has surpassed 1,000 yards each of the past 5 seasons and caught 13 touchdown passes in 2024, second most in the NFL. I think that listening to that, that should give us some hope. Wow. Yeah, Gerald P., I'm feeling the same way, man. Wow. That's what I got for you. It's it certainly isn't good, but when Adam Schefter breaks this down to you and says that 3 wide receivers signed back with the team after they requested trades, it really makes you feel a lot better. And it almost feels like Adam Schefter's hinting that the Commanders have no intentions of trading McLaurin. That's what it feels like. So he's not going to get traded. Okay? He's not going to get traded. I'm fine with it. Listen, man. It's business at the end of the day. It's business. Okay? It's business, and it's this is how football works. All right? So it's happened before. Players have signed back. So again, I'm not worried. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Let me check in real quick. TJ, I think Terry will get extended. I'm glad we aren't listening to offers from other teams. Likewise. But at the same time, I want this done, LOL, yesterday, so we can focus on this season. Dude, we all want this done. We don't know what's taking so long. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Definitely. We all want this to get done. I'm glad they aren't listening to offers. Facts, man. Facts. I think you get the game of football, to be honest. You get the game of football. So, but this is how it goes. This is how the NFL goes. Okay. This is how it works. So at the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and act like Terry McLaurin isn't going to get a contract extension. He's not going to get traded, right? He's not going to get traded. I'm here to tell you that firsthand. He's not going to get traded. But how are we feeling today, folks? How are we feeling today? Is there anything else you guys have to leave? Is there anything else you guys want to say? How are we feeling today after that update? I think this explains it well. I think that this is going to get done, and we'll see. Let me see this real quick. Burgundy blog on X. Let me see this real quick because he's smart. I trust Adam Peters to get this done. But at the same time, we need Terry McLaurin. So both sides, be smart. If both sides can be smart and go about their own business, then we can be fine. If Terry requested, so maybe that's it. Who knows? Yeah, Terry requested trade. Yeah, maybe that's it. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Who saw this coming, to be honest? I mean, if you asked me 5 months ago coming out of the season, if you asked me when this extension would get done, I'd probably say 2 months from now. I'd probably say, oh, this is going to get done quick. This is not going to linger on. He's not going to request a trade. Terry McLaurin is a part of the future here. What are you talking about? But now that we're here, it's lingered, far too long. Lingered far too long for my liking, right? For a lot of you likings, because this is our star wide receiver we're talking about right now. This is our guy. and he has emotional strings tied to a lot of our hearts, but you have to let them go at some point. You have to let them go at some point, I guess. But that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Um, Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. Okay. That's what it is at the end of the day, man. All right. That's how things are going right now. Um, Terry McLaurin, we've been getting updates back to back to back. He's finally requested a trade. Um, it's just interesting how this has impacted this football team, how this it has lingered on so far. We thought this was, really our guy, but you know, wide receiver Brandon Ayuk in a pick. Come on, man. Okay, so the question I have for you, I'll just call you A because I don't want to mess up anything on the name. I'll just call you A. What do you want most? Do you want Brandon Ayuk in a pick, or do you want to win the Super Bowl this year, or have a shot at winning the Super Bowl this year? I'll ask you that, and you can answer that. What do you want more, to win the Super Bowl this year, or Brandon Ayuk in a pick? Yeah, and you know what Brandon Ayuk is? He's also injury prone. Ayuk by the age of 30 is gonna suck because of all the injuries. Terry is 29 right now, and he's dealt with no injuries. He's had no problems. So what do you want? Do you want to have a shot at winning the Super Bowl and keep Terry, or do you want to trade him and have no shot at winning the Super Bowl? So and no, we're not getting Brandon Ayuk. We're not getting Brandon Ayuk. All right, we're not doing that. Adam Peters is not gonna do that, man. But it's good thinking, right? I'm watching the Hall of Fame game right now. Ayuk is a dog like Debo. Yeah, he's a dog. I mean, he is. But when does he get on the field, right? Because I don't really remember, how great he was when he was on the field. He's just injury prone. That's the problem I have with him. He's injury prone. But I see where you're coming from. Your opinions are respectable. I see it. Let me just wipe mine. All right. See, this game's gonna suck, or it will get rained out like every other. Oh yeah, that is true. It does normally get rained out. It's not. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain. Uh, I can't wait to do the watch party next week though. Next Friday we have a watch party. Commanders at Patriots next Friday night. It's gonna be lit. We got depth to do it. We have the money to do it, and so you didn't answer my question though. You didn't answer my question. What would you rather have? A Super Bowl, a shot at the Super Bowl this year, or are you trying to build for the future? Because I feel like Adam Peters trading for Debo Samuel, trading for Larry Tunsil, he went all in to win a Super Bowl. So if you're gonna just leave Terry in the dust, I don't think that was the plan. And again, why are we talking about a trade when Adam Schefter just said the Commanders have no plans on trading Terry McLaurin? They're not going to trade him. Okay, they're not going to trade him. Adam Schefter just said that. The guy that's most plugged in just said that. So I really don't think we're going to trade him. I don't. But yeah, man. Yeah, y'all. I think that might do it for me. We'll try to continue the conversation a little bit longer. Ayuk and our wide receiver depth, JD can take us to the promised land. Again, are they going to trade Terry? No. Does Adam Schefter think they're going to trade Terry? No. No, they've declined all trade requests for Terry McLaurin. So why do you think they're going to trade Terry McLaurin? And why is Brandon Ayuk specifically on your mind? What makes him the guy that you want? If Terry don't report. Okay. All right. So that's your second option, basically. What is, bro? So we hit 1 hour on the stream. Let's see. Does anybody else see? Why does bro think bro, we're not getting Ayuk. I don't know. We're not getting Ayuk. I don't want Ayuk. I don't. Ayuk is nice, but not better than Terry. Facts. Terry and Debo is a better combination, and we have more of a shot at the Super Bowl with those two. Facts. And yeah, if we would get Ayuk, we wouldn't have any shot at the Super Bowl. So yeah, I agree. But yeah, man, successful stream. Got a super chat. Got some great comments here. Got to hear what you guys had to say. Um, that's going to do it for me right now. That's all I got. Probably have some content. Commanders are off tomorrow. They have a walkthrough tomorrow, but they are off for practice. So you're not going to see a practice report from me as you do. Go check the practice report out from today if you haven't already. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well. If any of you want to become a channel member, link is in the description. Or no, sorry, I didn't put the link in the description for that. You can find that on my page. That's all I got for right now. Terry McLaurin requested a trade from the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go sit back and watch this Hall of Fame game. But right now, that's all I got. Probably have some content tomorrow on the Commanders off day. See you guys in the next one. You guys have a good one. See you guys later. Peace.